What's going on, you promiscuous pud pullers? Welcome to Grunt Speak.
Live from the lair.
Terrence Pop, Toxic Male. Welcome to Thought Thursday, gentlemen. Hope you're all doing well.
Yeah. And since we had that super black pill one a couple days ago, this one is going to be...
We're going to keep it light today.
There might be a few times where we wander out into that, but we're talking about one of our favorite subjects.
Chicks, man.
Yeah,
Chicks.
Crazy chicks and unsavory poon activities.
Oh, there's lots of that. Tonight, we want to know your stories. Mm-hmm. So, what are the most egregious lies that women have ever told you to get out of trouble, what have you? We're going to start taking calls in probably like 10 minutes. In the meantime, we have StreamYard. There is a link in the Meat Gazer box. Every place that this is posted, I suppose, with the exception of probably D-Live and Twitch, because those don't have Meat Gazer boxes. So I'm going to make sure that I grab those links for you guys. So D-Live, there's your StreamYard link right there, and Twitch, here it comes. So if you guys have some crazy stories, we're going to get into why we're going about this tonight?
Well, I myself, when I was in the military, there was probably at least 1 or 2 dozen instances where one of the soldiers was getting divorced.
Oh, yeah.
And the soon-to-be, ex made up some bullshit.
Naturally.
And about half the time, it ended the guy's career.
Well, one of the most common reasons women lie and cause trouble is when they cheat.
Uh-huh.
So they have to deflect.
Wow. Well, let's see. Steve, he was going through a divorce, and she made this accusation that got him, bounced out at 12 years. He had a top secret clearance, spoke 5 languages, was one of those 30-pound brain, whiz-bang individuals. Gone. Yeah, right in the Bermuda Triangle, man.
Wrecked his whole life. So if you guys want to call in, the link is there. All you got to do is give it a click. It'll take you to what they call the backstage area on StreamYard. And before we bring you in, and if you don't want to be on screen, you don't have to activate the camera. So just want to make sure you know that.
Okay.
So if you want to be on camera, we can put you on camera. We can take you out with a boxed wine in Catland, wherever you want. That's why we're here today.
We got Sean in there. We got
we got a couple coming up
couple
here.
Guys.
But first things first.
Okay.
It is a time for celebration, at least a minor one, because Susan Q, is stepping down as the CEO of YouTube. Now, don't get too happy.
No. Well, first of all, any CEO who's in that job for 5 years or more is considered successful.
Yeah.
All right. So, my gut is telling me is she's running, and then she wants to use the excuse, I'm old and I'm retired now. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
And that's what I think she's doing. It's not going to work.
No, definitely not. And Jimmy Bones brought up a very good point earlier today on this same subject, because Jim Jordan is apparently issuing a whole bunch of subpoenas to various heads of big tech, demanding to know just how deep this rabbit hole of the DOJ directly coordinating with CEOs to censor lawful speech, how deep that goes. So do you think this is a coincidence that it happens to come out around that time?
No. Like I said, this is a smoke screen.
Oh, yeah.
If you're in a tank and you take you take a hard shot and you blow a track, you throw up the smoke.
Amen to that.
I learned that one, War Thunder.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you guys are interested, the video that this is based off of, I filmed it today. It'll be out on Friday?
It's coming out tomorrow. If you are a supporter of the show on Give Send Bro, Subscribe Star, or what was the other one there? Locals. Yeah. Patreon's gone. They booted us. You already have access to it, so you can log in there and get your early access.
Yep.
It's good stuff.
It's a long one.
Yeah, so to say I'm gonna miss Susan would be a bull-faced lie.
No. And listen, we don't know who's going to take her place.
No.
But I do know this: that in the back rooms of Alphabet and Google and YouTube, they are pulling their hairs out because they are becoming more and more insolvent.
Yep.
And one of the main reasons is there's only so many eyeballs out there that look at content. They had a monopoly, and then they wanted to play God. Now they no longer have that monopoly, and there is a whole army of competition rising as we speak that's taking those eyeballs away from Google, Alphabet, and YouTube.
And that's why we're never putting all of our eggs in that one basket ever again.
No.
That's why we're broadcasting at the same time as YouTube with Rumble, Odyssey, MGTOW.tv, Twitch, and DLive.
Mm-hmm. And if there was more, we would do that. But right now we can't swing it. And for those of you that don't know, I just started a Gab TV channel. And I've been uploading there for about 3 weeks as well.
Heck yeah, man. Nothing wrong with that.
Nope.
I just saw a super chat from Success Pool Endeavors telling me to check my Discord. I'm like, bro, I don't even have it on this computer. So I'm like, okay, I got to try to check this out now. Make sure that it's here. Yeah, it says here, Jim Jordan subpoenas big tech YouTube CEO steps down immediately. Oh, yeah, so there's definitely a correlation there. Boom.
Yep.
So somebody was paying attention.
I mean, I'm going to be honest. They jerry-rigged an election. That is going to be a problem.
The jerry-rigged. You could say that they meddled.
All right, meddle.
They directly did, at the behest of the Department of Justice, what they accused Russia of doing in 2016, which they now admit never happened.
Yeah. Wow.
Good times. Great oldies.
That's insane, man.
So tonight's stream is called Women Never Lie, right?
Yeah, and listen, if I'm a little on the monotone side, I'm under the weather right now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I just wanted to
It is what it is.
as soon as I saw this article, I was like, okay, we got to do a whole stream on this particular subject, and you'll see why. This is
All right.
this is one of the most ridiculous things ever, and of course, it's written anonymously. How to hide a promiscuous past from your new man. Because sometimes the sex is so slamming, you can't risk scaring him off. So here's what you got to do. Now, they automatically just discredit their entire argument. Let's make one thing clear. There's absolutely nothing wrong with being a slut.
Okay.
If you're looking to, just have fun, sure. 7 to 10 minutes of fun, 18 years on the run, but nobody's wifing you up. Number one.
Not after you go over the certain, once you go over failing the dick stacking test.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Try to find out the number of people he has slept with. Yeah, well, the higher the number usually turns on the woman, turns off the man. It's not a double standard. It's just how things are.
Well, I mean, that's how we're programmed.
Yep. Number 2, lie. It's just that simple.
Yeah, women never lie. I believe all women. My body, my choice.
No big deal. No big
Sure, it's your baby.
deal. Yeah, Chris Rock said it best. Men lie the most. Women tell the biggest lies.
Hell yeah, they do.
Number 3, tell all if you must, but with a twist. So this one deserves a little context. Like promoting a couple of bonks to an old boyfriend status, that way you can get down to telling tales of about 2 to 3 men in total. Sure.
And multiply that by 8.
With that high school, play curtain of roast beef you got going on down there hanging down to your knees, I don't think anybody's going to really buy that.
Yeah, listen. All I can say is most of the women out there today, meaning anywhere from 51% to 99%, are graduating high school with a body count more than 4.
Oh, yeah. And that's really all it takes.
Yep. They're quite literally, handicapping their ability to pair bond with a man.
Yep.
But before they reach the age of 19.
It is what it is. And you know what? Doesn't really matter to me because they're all going to the same place.
Stop! Don't touch me there! This is my no-no square! Stop!
Number 4,
Lord.
tell the truth? Maybe. Some men are actually not bothered by a woman's lively past, but before you tell all, be sure that you are dating one such. How do you find out? Well, is he hot? Well,
What does that have to do with anything?
that has nothing to do with anything. Actually, the more high value the guy is, the less he's going to put up with that shit.
Well, and let's be honest. Yes, there are men out there who don't care about it until it's time to ask for the diamond.
Yeah. No hymen, no diamond.
I mean, I came up with Ring Bluff 1 and Ring Bluff 2 for a reason.
Yes.
The string along effect. It's one of my.
It works.
I made it in the first 2 years I started doing this.
Yep.
It is hilarious.
Promise ring. Number 5, pretend past lovers were terrible. Women are experts at this. Oh, he couldn't really get me.
Oh,
He
my
had a small
God.
pee-pee.
Yeah.
All the same shit they're going to say about you after you break it off because they've got 348 dicks stacked in the warehouse.
Yeah, he can only work the gear shift to 3.
Yeah. Better than reverse, I guess. Number 6, here's my favorite. Say they abused you.
Oh, yeah.
I thought false accusations only happen 2% of the time.
Yeah, I know. But the thing is they will throw that up as a sympathy wall, hoping you won't breach it or want to go, circumvent it to find out what's going on.
just shows you how comfortable some people are with lying.
It's the sympathy obstacle effect.
Yep.
The women do it all the time, and especially when it's accompanied with tears.
Number 7, do your cyber OPSEC and do it right. You already knew to prune any evidence from your social media, but I bet you didn't know you should also create a plausible cover story for missing information or blocks of time. So we're getting into like just almost
Straight
like
up lying.
military intelligence territory.
This
on
is spy shit here, and
It is.
I believe we cover some of this in Working Man's Survival Guide.
Yep. Blame it on an ex hacking and vandalizing your accounts after a bad breakup is the good old trusty. But you can really cook with your creative juices here. The more elaborate and pre-planned the story, the harder it will be to track or crack for your new dude's prodding questions. Have an answer to every question, and most importantly, have fun. Yeah, have fun deceiving a dude into thinking you're someone that you're not.
What is she going to do 5 years later when she doesn't remember any of these lies? Because that's what happens when these women live in this web of lies.
I don't know. I got nothing for you, man.
It's gonna blow up in her face in not a
Yep.
good way.
Because sooner or later, one of those old friends is going to come around and could be a frenemy.
Yep.
And then it's all over.
Men
Number 8.
Men don't keep frenemies.
No.
Remember that.
Finally, always bring trusted friends in on the conspiracy. So we're admitting that you are duping a dude
That's right.
at this point.
And I did a video called "Dupe the Dude" too.
Yep.
Dupe the next dude.
Make sure your friends are briefed. You don't want to be in a social situation where one of them suddenly blurts out, "You remember you were in Ibiza and you did it with 3 men on one night?" Well, he's going to find that out sooner or later anyway.
Yes, he will. Listen, if your friends are your friends and they find out any of this crazy stuff, because let's face it, everyone talks,
Yep.
and they don't tell you, and you find out on your own, you might want to reevaluate if you keep those people in your life.
A little bit.
Yeah, because that's serious stuff right there.
It's very serious stuff. And it has gotten so bad with just the astronomical amount of lying and how comfortable they are with it. Now, even if they've got a 3-digit body count, they can trick you into thinking they're a virgin. I hated my first time, so I paid $10K for surgery to restore my virginity. Oh, yeah, she totally,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Now, listen, they do other things too. They have the ability to ratchet the tension down on that thing once it gets blown out.
Oh, yeah, the vaginal rejuvenation surgery.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So apparently this costs $10,000. And I was a 17-year-old teenager who lost my V card to a 30-year-old guy. Just like many women, I was deceived. I was promised marriage and children like in fairy tales. 1, 2, 3. Bullshit! No one's promising that to a 17-year-old.
I got you.
I don't care how good looking you are.
And even
she
if
is
he
good
did,
looking, to be fair.
Even if he did, she's gullible enough to believe it.
It's all on her, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow. So yeah, women never lie. Totally.
It's called unfounded.
Oh yeah, we have some of those factoids on the website if you want to check them out. Like a National Library of Medicine here goes over false rapé allegations. With the cooperation of a police agency and a small metropolitan community, 45 consecutive disposed false rapé allegations covering a 9-year period were studied. These allegations constitute 41%
Wow.
of the total forcible rapé cases reported during this period. And this study has been replicated since then. After the first one back in the 1990s was critiqued, the original study's author went back into it and proved it was even higher.
Wow.
Sources on Redonkulas.com.
Well, I do know that a lot, when I looked at the stats and the Uniform Crime Report about sexual assault and so forth, there was a stat in there, and I think this is 8 or 9 years old now.
Oh, yeah?
It was like 30 to 40% of them were unfounded.
Yeah.
And that's just the political correct term they're using to your lying cunt.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. If you actually look at what the definition of unfounded means.
Yeah.
in
No,
the
don't get me wrong.
vernacular.
Don't. I think that rapé is some of the worst shit you could do.
Absolutely.
And if you actually do that, you need to get buried under the goddamn jail. But
Well, I mean, honestly, the prison population kind of takes care of this problem for us.
yes and no.
discovered,
I don't
so.
know if they get all wrapped around the axle for just raping an adult.
But if it's children,
Oh
yeah.
You mess with children.
you won't even get to your sentencing if it's children.
Well, they have to keep you in special housing and segregated, and because
I'm sorry, they shouldn't do that anymore, and I'll tell you why. Because if a man, all he has to do is pretend like he's, performing the Bloody Larry on himself for 5 days a month in order to get transferred to a women's facility, and he'll just get dropped into Gen Pop to start impregnating these women.
Yeah, he won't.
Don't protect the chomos.
yeah,
That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. All right.
I'm just telling you what they do.
Oh, I know. So thank you, SCE, for reminding me about the Discord message. We got Sean St. George says, I've been under the weather myself. Get well soon, Pop. And Jeff Space Lord with a $50 super chat. Holy
All
shit.
right, thank you.
We're not worthy! We're not worthy!
He said, could we encourage all Red Pill MGTOW creators to have a set schedule like you guys do? I don't like it when shows overlap with each other. Who else is streaming? Damn it.
I'm sorry.
It's all good. And then Shark Dentures says, so number 1 through number 7, lie. And Sean St. George saying, holy shit, 40+% accusations are false. Definitely can't believe any woman with legit high numbers like that. I mean, even if you were to just take the science at face value, 25% of primary accused are exonerated by DNA every year like clockwork.
Yeah.
An additional 25%, the DNA is inconclusive. So in either case, you're talking between 25 and 50%.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Listen,
The 2% stat that they come up with comes from a novel called Against Her Will that was written in the 1970s, I think. And it was the source of it was a casual, offhanded comment from a judge. There's no sourcing for that stat whatsoever.
wow.
Again, sources on redonkulas.com.
Yeah, we bring the receipts.
You ready for some calls? We got a full boat here already.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to talk to Sean first. Sean, are you there, good sir?
Yes, sir. How you doing?
How you doing, man? Did you want to be seen? We don't want to put anybody up who doesn't want to be seen.
Oh shit, I don't mind. That's fine.
All right, cool. We'll put you right up on the screen then. How you doing, good sir?
Good. Just getting ready to go to work here.
Oh, okay. So we'll try to make it quick then. What's your story?
Hey, I just wanted to. You guys read my story on Tuesday about my father-in-law.
Uh-huh.
Yes, yeah.
I wanted to thank you very much for all your advice, and I showed it to my wife, and because I was really feeling guilty about that part,
Yeah.
and my wife agreed with you guys, so she brought it up to her sister. So I don't know if they're gonna contact an attorney or what, but I agree that they should.
Mm-hmm.
So
At the very least, we got some questions that need to be answered.
yeah, absolutely.
All right, man.
I mean, if he was that bad to where it wasn't even 24 hours later, like, boom.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't even 24 hours. I mean, it was like, I was in Holbrook, Arizona, which is about 3 hours away from Phoenix, to where I live.
Uh-huh.
And my wife called me about 9 o'clock in the morning, and she's the one that told me. And I said, well, here, I'm a truck driver. So
Oh, okay. Yeah, nice. Were you in the
Yeah,
Freedom
so-
Convoy?
All
yeah,
right.
so I pretty much ran illegal back from Holbrook on Saturday, but I didn't care.
Yeah,
but,
well, sometimes that has to happen. And in regards to the guilt thing, do not let it pull you down, man.
Yeah.
All right. I have had to deal with a lot of soldier issues that, 10, 20 years later, that guilt gets real heavy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I kind of understand that because my first wife and I, uh, my daughter and my son both passed away.
Oh
Oh,
shit!
wow.
That kind of killed our marriage, and you know,
Yeah, that's most marriages do not survive
Yeah,
that.
absolutely correct.
And in
no,
that case, it's one of those things that's like, is it even anybody's fault? You know, those things just kind
Listen,
of fall apart.
when you come here to this earth, you owe death,
And taxes.
taxes, and at some point you're going to get at least one taste of the shit sandwich.
It sounds
Oh,
like
yeah.
he went to like the Subway shit buffet
Yeah.
and he got the foot long.
Some people, yeah, sometimes that sandwich is an hors d'oeuvre,
Oh,
and sometimes it's a foot long, and they ram it up your ass with using Murphy.
big old suppository.
exactly. But I will say one thing though, where he passed away was kind of in a gully, and it's where people walk by and everything like that. And a lot of people had put up flowers and balloons, and even one person put up a book. So if anyone wanted to write anything in it, they could. And and then they also somebody put up nailed a heart to the tree where it was closest to where he passed away. But and to be honest with you, it kind of gave me a little bit of a faith in humanity. You know what I mean? That people could be so nice to do something like that.
I got you.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm a little sick at this point too. So
Oh,
It's
no,
all
it's
right,
all
bro.
good, man.
All right, we got to go to the next guest.
Yeah, but
thank you
very
for calling
much
in.
for following up.
have a good day.
All right, man.
Take
Take
care.
it easy.
All right. Yeah, it's nice to follow up with him because that was Tuesday. If you guys didn't watch that stream, and by the way, we had some people on YouTube wondering why it was deleted. Well, if you go to Rumble and watch it, you'll find out why pretty damn quick.
Yeah.
Especially when you get toward the end.
Yeah.
Woo! Yeah. Good stuff. Hey, we got MGTOW Mando coming in. How you doing, good sir?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on.
Anytime,
No problem.
brother.
No problem, wild man.
Before I get into my story, I just want to say I've been listening to you more or less religiously since 2017.
Wow.
I've
Yes.
enjoyed your content quite a bit, and I've passed you along to a lot of friends and fellow service members.
All right, cool. I appreciate that.
Awesome. Yeah, I've been watching you on streams with Rhino and Jimmy. So
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah. So you already know one of my nightmare stories about dating, and in fact, you've probably heard the last nightmare dating story that I have.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys about the first one that I had during my time on active duty.
oh boy, active duty. This ought to
There
be
we
great.
go.
I was stationed in Germany as a medic, specifically an OR tech.
Mm.
And there was this young woman who was stationed in the same hospital unit I was. We hit it off, got along great. Ended up, we were kind of sort of going out, and I say kind of sort of because I'm one of those rare individuals who still believes in waiting until marriage.
Uh-huh.
And we were planning a trip to Berlin for a Christmas leave. Well, she said something during our planning that basically had a record scratch to a stop. It'd be so much nicer if my husband were here. Bear
Oh.
in mind, we'd been going
Oh
out
my-
for 6 months.
Oh my God.
Whoa.
Yeah, she said that, and just like in every one of those idiotic rom-coms, the soundtrack in my head just screeched to a stop, and I was like, wait, what?
Wow.
I never told you I was married? No.
That's exceptionally, and that's very common.
No
that they do
ring,
that.
no ring tan mark. Like
Nope.
wow.
Nope, it had been at least 3 months at the time I met her since she had last worn the wedding band.
Okay.
Wow.
Now, I did meet her husband when he did eventually come over to Germany, and her husband was a stereotypical cuck.
Ah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Wow.
So
But-
was she doing this with his blessing?
I have no idea if he knew about it or not, but given everything I knew about her and having met him, I was raised with one of these things where you don't kiss and tell, and you don't I don't know how to say this and be YouTube friendly.
You don't step out.
That's a nice way to. You don't dig into somebody else's salad.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
you go. I like that.
Especially if it's a tossed salad.
Well, you know,
And now, fortunately, the most she and I did was some heavy makeout sessions. But
uh-huh.
it was one of these things where it took a real long time before I was willing to risk trying to date again.
Oof.
And that particular lady ended up ghosting me while I was in the middle of chemical recon training.
It's probably for the best.
Yeah, listen, I was Dear John twice on active duty. It's just par for the course.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, if you haven't got one Dear John letter by the time you get to E5 in your rank, sergeant rank, you're doing it wrong.
Which I will go ahead and close out with this, since I know you've got other callers that would like to speak to you.
Uh-huh.
I am getting ready to retire from 22 years service as active duty and reserves.
All right.
Awesome.
6 of those years I was in the medical corps as a field medic and an OR tech. The remainder of that time has been CBRN.
Okay.
A lot of times when you see super chats from me where I'm talking about stuff like that, it's things that, Pop, you've probably forgotten more things about being infantry than most men will ever know.
Yeah.
I have literally forgotten more about chemical warfare than you probably have ever read.
Yeah, you're probably correct because
Wow.
And that I don't say that to brag. I literally wish I could forget half of this stuff.
Oh, I bet some of the shit that you have seen and heard and even experienced would probably keep a lot of people up at night.
yeah, it's
Oh,
that stuff is creepy.
let me put it this way. Comparing what's going on in Ohio at the moment to Chernobyl, in my opinion, is putting it very politely.
Mm-hmm.
If you've seen any of the Judge Dredd variants, we're looking at the beginnings of the Cursed Earth, in my opinion.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. It's a silent declaration of war.
And that chem that got dumped is essentially phosgene gas.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, and they
French gas.
and there's whole areas in France that can't be used because they're so saturated with that stuff.
The red zone.
Oh.
The red zone, yeah.
And
Oh,
now
yeah.
we're seeing the people, just walking to various water supplies like creeks, rivers, tributaries off the Ohio River. They're dropping rocks in the water, and you can see the rainbow sheen bubble up from the creek bed.
Yep.
It's
What I would-
saturating the creek bed. It's
Wow.
terrible.
What I would actually be curious to do if I was living closer to that area and had access to the CBRN cage I just signed over
Mhm.
is to take a 256 kit out there and see what kicks off. Because that stuff lasts for a long time, both in atmosphere and in water.
So yeah, but that kit usually picks up nerve gas, blister agent, and what is it? The blood agent.
Blood agents.
Yeah.
It also picks up some choking agents, and
Uh-huh.
it's mildly more sensitive than the current detector unit that's currently available. I don't really know much I want to go into on a live communication.
No, it's
Gotcha.
cool. You don't have to go into it.
But hey, if you have any sort of inside info like this and you want to, dive into this and do like a deep dive with us sometime, we'd love to have you on as a guest.
Yeah, man. All day long.
Blake.
Yeah.
You already know this. I'm not going to say any more as of right now. But after my retirement is official in April, I would like to come on because I'm hoping to have a surprise for Pop.
All right.
All right. Pop loves
Uh,
surprises.
Yeah.
I'm just going to close out with saying I am currently in the same type of unit that you were in before you left, Pop.
I gotcha.
And let's just say that if what I've been told is true, you'll be very much a happy man.
Yeah. Well, K-Poc sucks.
I don't think it's use of K-Poc that I'm part of.
Oh, okay.
How I am in a CA unit, but I don't think it's use of K-Poc. But we can burn that bridge later.
All right, man.
You've got other callers. I'm going to go ahead and duck off.
Yeah,
All
we're
right,
going to
take
make
it
like
easy,
the
man.
government and light that bridge on fire.
Don't get me started.
Amen to that. All right, take it easy, Mando. Thank you very much for calling in.
See you in the live chats.
And we'll be there.
All right. Who's the next guy?
Oh, we got Thumper.
Uh-oh.
Thumper, the sweaty fat guy. What you up to, good sir?
Oh, listen to you guys playing some Red Dead Redemption.
All
There
right.
you go. You ever see there was that Australian Western called The Proposition from like
I
the
didn't
late
see that one.
90s with a noun verb? I'm sorry. I always call him noun verb. His name is Guy Pearce, but I always call him noun verb because when I It's the English major in me, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, Red Dead Redemption steals a lot from that movie.
Ah, cool.
It's good stuff if you haven't seen it. I recommend it to you guys. So what do you got, man? I know you have a ton of stories, and you've shared a ton of pictures with us in the past that we are not clear to show to people on YouTube or New Tech. So I'm sure this is going to be a good one.
Yep.
What do you want to hear about? Do you want to hear about the false allegations from the chick I never banged, the one that I did, or the ex-wives?
Let's go with the chick you never banged.
Yeah, this ought to be good.
Okay.
For
this
10.
is a fun one. Okay, I was active duty, stationed in Charleston,
Okay.
having a good old time down there. And I meet this guy and this chick, right? And she's like, my car won't start because, there was a bolt broken off in the starter. It was a little Sunbird, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it was a bolt broken off. And she said, well, can you come look at it? I'm like, all right, I'll come look at it. And this is during the day,
All right.
So I worked night shift. And my nights off were Tuesday and Wednesday. This is going to play a part later. Okay, so I go look at her car, and it's like middle of the day on a Thursday. Now, it should have been apparent to her. But anyway, I look at it, and, sometimes you can back the bolt out. Sometimes you can't. Well, this time I couldn't. And I'm like, well, I can't get to it without, certain tools and easy out and drill and all this crap and get it on base and put it on the lift. If so, I said, I can't fix it. She's like, well, why don't you give me one of your cars? Because I had 2 Firebirds.
What?
And I'm like,
no.
give you one of my cars? Are you insane?
And you never met this person before?
No.
Wow.
Right?
Nothing like a tall order, yeah.
Yeah. Woo.
Yeah, she found out my name from one of the other guys on base.
Uh-huh.
And she knew I was on base, Air Force guy. So she calls the cops a few days later when she kept just haranguing me, calling me, and being like, give me one of your cars. And I'm like, no.
Wow.
I'm not going to give you, even the Firebird that I spent $1,000 on, let alone the one is now my street strip fun toy.
Uh-huh.
So I get a call that I have to go to the orderly room and take my ID. And usually what that means
You're getting put under custody.
Well, usually what it means for me, because my social ends in a 01, is that I'm getting piss tested.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Because random my ass. I constantly got piss tested.
Uh-huh.
So I go up there and they're like, well, you're under arrest. And I'm like, what?
Lovely.
Because, it's middle of the day. They called me at home. So I came in, put my uniform on and went in. So I'm sitting there going, why am I under arrest? And they're like, well, we'll get to that. Right.
Okay.
So eventually we go through all this rigmarole and everything. And I got my commander, the wing commander, the big base guy and everything. And they're all like, so why'd you do it? And I'm like, do what? And they're like, well, there's this woman that lives off base, and she says that you had your way with her. And I'm like,
what?
Yeah. What? Who?
Naturally.
Huh?
Uh-huh.
There were girls off base that I was seeing. And I'm like, well, which one are you talking about here?
All right.
Was it the one that works at Taco Bell? No. Okay. So not the Taco Bell drive-through girl. Was it the one that lives over on the other side of town? No, not her. What color was she? White woman. All right. So how old is she? Oh, about 50. And I went, 50? And I'm like, okay, I know who you're talking about now.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, I had nothing to do with her. I went and looked at her car, and I couldn't fix her car. And then she wanted a car from me because she knows I have 2 of them, right? One that I brought back from Germany and one that I bought while I'm fixing the one that I brought back from Germany.
Uh-huh.
So they're like, well, you're under, you can't leave the base, but you don't have any days off from now on until we get back to you. So I worked every night, right?
Uh-huh.
So just, that's what they do. They just make you work, keep you out of trouble.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. It just kind of sucks, but I didn't really have much of a life at that point anyway.
Yeah.
E4 on base.
I'm
but
very familiar.
Yeah. So they talked to the city cops and the county sheriff and everything, and they say, "Yep, she said it happened on what was it, Friday night at like midnight," and I'm like, "I was at work. I can prove I was at work."
Oops.
You know.
Yeah.
So
Naturally.
they go back and tell her he's got an ironclad alibi for Friday night. Well, maybe it was Saturday night.
Yeah.
Okay. Saturday night at midnight. And they come back and I worked. I got Tuesday, Wednesday off. My name is on paperwork at work that I can show you. Where I was building pallets and shit.
Uh-huh.
Right. So then she tried Sunday night. And then at that point they said, well,
just
yeah, we
change
know
your
you're
story.
just like process of elimination in this.
Uh-huh.
You know, and we're going to believe him that you're trying to extort a vehicle out of him.
Winning.
So
Damn. Yeah,
I was still restricted to base for another month just to keep me from going and retaliating against her.
Fair enough.
That's
And
just
I was
amazing.
like, I don't want anything to do with her. She will never see me again. Guaranteed.
Wow.
You know, because I'm not running into this. And the city cops, they still had a hard on for me. But, you know, the commanders and everybody said, no, he's never did it.
He's got a fucking alibi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quit white
Ironclad.
knighting for the crazy fucking hag.
Who clearly
I go to work at 10:30. I show up. I'm on the roster. I have work all night, you know, building pallets.
Uh-huh.
Sean Fries in the chat here says, women who make false allegations should face the same amount of time the guy would have received if convicted. I've been saying that for years, and I think it's 100% spot on.
Yep.
You
I don't
have
think they're
to
ever gonna
stop.
do it,
You
though.
have to start discouraging this shit because it's way too common, especially now.
Yep. And that's why I have gone to my patented method of one, never looking at a chick's car. But if I hook up with a chick, you know, and actually like get busy with her, I make it so that she thinks that she's breaking it off with me. And the way I do that is I start asking for, you know, spicy fun times. And I might pay like a small bill, like her phone bill or something, if it's really bad.
Uh-huh.
Because you make breakfast for her, you ask her for, you know, spicy times, and you pay a bill for her, and she's going to be like, oh, he's a beta.
He's
and then
simping.
It dries up for you instantly. And then you can just like fade away.
It works, yeah. I mean,
Oh,
shit,
it's awesome.
even on How I Met Your Mother, you know, Barney started pulling the Ted Mosby whenever he wanted a chick to go away. Just, you know,
Yep.
second date, I love you. Wait, come back. Yes.
I never tried that one because, you know, that gets you in trouble.
That could blow up in your face if
Yeah,
you
I
get
mean,
yourself a stage 5 clinger and
That's
you
not bad.
accidentally give her the 23
That's as
dick.
bad as my worst pickup line ever.
Oh, no. What is it?
I used it on my first wife.
Okay.
And I do not recommend this at all because you know, probably going to get some. But I walked up to her. At first, I'd been out drinking, getting all my free drinks on my birthday night, right?
Mhm.
So I was plowed. And we were chasing this 54 Chevy, and he showed up in this one parking lot. So we stopped and talked to him, and then these two chicks show up, and they're sitting on the hood of a car. And I go over and talk to him, and I says to the one, I says, you got a boyfriend? She says, no. I said, do you want one? She said, maybe. And then I ended up married to her for 8 years and paying her for 15 years after that. And I'm like, "Ugh."
God damn.
Worst pickup line ever.
Yeah, that fucked
I
me pretty
got
good.
it. I got it. Yeah. It's pretty good.
All right, man. Thank you very much for calling in,
Yep.
Thumper. It's always a pleasure to hear from you.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's get
Enjoy
to
that.
next guy.
Oh, Pop, did you like the vodka?
I don't think we've opened it yet.
What, you're talking about the head
Yeah.
vodka?
I like it. It's nice and smooth, a little bit sweet.
I'll give it a go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
I didn't
keeping
know if
that
you like
bottle when you're
vodka or
done.
not, but
I
the
like
bottle's
anything.
cool.
All right, man. You take care,
All right.
Thumper.
Yep.
We'll be in touch.
Later, man.
All right.
Yeah. Oh, man.
There we go.
Next caller, the man with the plan, the man who knows how to shred. Well, it's kind of like somebody who has to, you know, make the lettuce for your sandwich at Applebee's. Jeffrey Paul, how you good, man?
What are you two butt weasels doing?
You know, just throwing shit around.
Hey.
One day I'm going to get it in that fucking teacup,
Please
You gonna
don't.
what?
and then you're going to have to throw it away.
Nasty.
Some of these, because they've been, like, over there on his side for, like, a day or two, they come back with cobwebs on them, just like his ex.
Oh, allegedly.
Allegedly, of course.
Hey, I was going to get into that story about. Oh, I got two stories. You want the one where my ex got whacked, or do you want the story of the ex who was stealing money?
The whacked one.
The whacked.
The
Okay.
whacked one. All right, here we go. Well, so I was married to this lady for 20 years, and towards the end of our marriage, she was doing some business trips. Know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Business
trips. Well, she took this trip. I was living in Dallas Fort Worth area at the time, and I was living in a little mid cities place called Arlington. And she was doing a business trip in Fort Worth, which, if you know, is only 15 minutes away.
Yeah.
Well, and she calls me up and she says, "Hey, I'm not going to come home." I said, "Why?" She goes, "Oh, I'm staying at the hotel tonight for this business trip."
Yeah, she's going to get room service.
Yeah, and I'm like, "You're going to stay at the hotel and you're 15 minutes away from home." Okay. Anyway, well, this is towards the end of our marriage, right?
Hey, which one is the right color? Probably this one.
Yeah, I can't hardly see what you're doing, but I'll just go with it.
All right.
So, here shortly after that, we go to get divorced, right? Well, she starts getting involved with some different guys. And I just hear about it through the grapevine, nothing big. But then all of a sudden, she ends up married.
Okay.
And so I go, who is this guy? Well, my brother-in-law at the time was like, "Man, this guy's shaky. This guy's shady. This guy's not, there's something wrong with this guy. He's full of shit, I said, "Okay, well, I don't know him. What am I supposed to do?" Well, she moves. Well, I get news about a year ago that he's involved with the mob.
Ooh.
And he's not only involved with the mob, the Soprano type, if you will. And he has been doing prison time for some insurance fraud.
She thought she could tame the bad boy.
I don't know if that's what it was or not. I to this day,
I'm
don't
sure
understand.
it had something to do with it.
Yeah.
Well, then I get a call from my brother-in-law's son. It says, "Hey, your ex is dead." And I'm like, "What?"
Holy shit.
They go, "Somebody went into their house, shot him in the head." When she came running back, the story I got, that she came running back down the hall to see what was going on. They unloaded on her, shot her in the stomach. As she turned around, they shot her in the back, and then they hit her in the head.
Wow.
Triple tap.
Then, so they killed both of them. From what I understand, they had a safe full of tons of money in it. It was gone.
Yep.
So we know there was more than one. And I always said to everybody, if this is the safe me and her had, there wasn't one person involved because you couldn't move it. It was too heavy. And then they set the house on fire to try to cover up all the evidence. And burned part of the house down. They found both bodies in the one in the living room, one in the bedroom. They found her beer sitting on the coffee table. So they know she was just sitting on the couch drinking a beer. They said the guys, whoever it was, came in the back door, unloaded on both of them. Then they caught two people trying to extort them for money. And apparently the husband had been screwing around with some other woman. From what I understand, may have even knocked her up. And they were paying. He was taking cash and extorted them for $25,000 to keep their mouth shut, so my ex didn't find out.
Wow.
But she is now gone.
That's
she's worm food, huh?
That's an extreme case of karma.
I can't say we hated each other or anything, but I don't know why she got involved with this guy. I just can't figure it out.
I'm telling you, it's two things. It's the bad boy persona and the fact that he had a lot of money undeclared.
Yeah. Oh, it's meth and dicks.
Meth and dicks.
Well, and then I talked to some other people, and they think this might have been, if y'all guys live in this area, Ohio, that is where a lot of the mob is still existing.
Really?
Up towards the eastern side, from what I understand. And
Sounds like
that's
a
where
train
she
wreck.
was.
Yep.
Yeah, and yeah, close to the train.
Yeah, that
But
sounds like a train wreck to me.
yeah, but that's where they moved, and he apparently had run away to Texas to get away from them, from what I understand, because he was, involved with them, and I think he owed him money. Well, he came back like a dumbass and brought her with her, and they knew he was back, and he got involved with them again, and so it was a mob hit. They hadn't even caught
Damn.
anybody, and the two people that were extorting them ain't talking.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Listen, well, one of the big things they do about setting the murder scene on fire, and my guy does this in my novels, usually sets the house on fire to get rid of any, trace or DNA evidence.
Mm-hmm.
Because even if the firefighters come in and they have to hose down the whole house with water, good luck.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, they wind up doing even more damage to physical evidence by trying to save the house.
Correct.
Yeah, I to this day, nobody's been caught. The two extortioners haven't been charged with that crime, but I think they know something. I also think that the police are even a little bit nervous about it because, you know what? Those mobsters know where the police live. They know who they are. If you want your family to live, you keep your mouth shut and leave us alone.
Yep.
And I think that there's a lot to do with that.
Oh yeah, I mean the stuff that you see in the movies about the mob trying to grease the wheels with the police unions and all that stuff, that is all absolutely accurate.
Yep.
Yeah, they're all tied in together.
Yeah.
Somehow.
And if there's one that won't sell out or whatever, they basically just mail him a picture of his daughter walking to school, and then that's essentially
right.
after that.
Yes. That's exactly right. But I know me and you had been talking about that story a few times, Blako, and figured, wow, this is the perfect time as ever to share about it.
All right, man.
I'll tell you what, ladies, though, if that story doesn't make you want to tell the truth all the time, 24/7, 365, I don't know what will.
Hey, and Pop, thanks for mailing my clothes back.
No problem, man.
Hey, peace to you, brothers.
I'll talk to you.
Always a pleasure. Good sir, you take care.
All right.
Bye.
I just wanted to throw this up there because I'm seeing some butts in the chat. Like, we haven't seen a butt in a while. It's been a while since we've seen a butt. Should we see a butt? Okay.
There's a butt right there.
No big deal. All right, we got another one here. Boris. All right, man. Good to see you. Whoa, Boris, you there?
Hello, gentlemen.
Holy shit.
Hello, everyone in the audience. How's the audience?
You're
Hey, how
coming
you doing?
through, like, really wonky.
Oh, really? I'm sorry. I tested it, but well, I should have done a better job. I'm sorry. Can you hear me at all?
Whoa, that's even worse.
That's even worse, bro.
Oh man!
How about this?
Hold on,
You know
hold on.
what? How about you try disconnecting and calling back, and then
We'll
I'll
see.
skip to you as soon as I see you, all right?
All right.
Yeah, sure. One sec. Sure.
Okay, I'll remove you, and then just try just to drop out and then come back in. You just have to leave the studio.
All right.
That sounded kind of funky. I don't know what that was all about.
I don't. Well, we're only allowed to have 6 people on, right?
Yeah, 10 in the backstage at any given time. So we'll
Okay.
jump to the next call here, and then I will keep an eye out for Boris coming back in here. Looks like we got the techie that time forgot. If he's still there, looks like his microphone is on mute. Oh, he just unmuted himself. There he is.
How you doing tonight, gentlemen?
It's good to see you. Would you like me to? Would you like to be featured or no?
Just voice.
That's fine.
All right, you got it, man.
So I have a college story. For you.
Oh.
College
And this is
story.
a doozy because it actually has a good ending.
Oh.
So I went into the quasi-communist bootlicking camp back in 2016, and that's when the woke crap, came into full swing, and it just came in overnight. And I remember the first week of my of being in there, I was like, why is everyone mentally ill? But before I went in, I made sure of one thing, that I had friends that were girls for this particular reason that's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a fight with this one girl's friend, and What that amounted to was her spreading a lie that I wanted to shoot up the school.
Oh, no. All right.
And that started to gain traction, as you know how infectious stuff like that can like spread around.
Yeah.
So my friends that were girls, they got wind of that, went to the board. She got blacklisted because she had a track record of doing this.
Okay.
Naturally.
So that's probably, if I didn't have like the friends that were girls and I personally went to like the board or whoever was in charge, they would have dismissed it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, there are some people out there that do get this kind of rumor control and get run off campus because of it. And it's usually revolves around the Title IX horse shit.
Yeah, Title IX, which is supposed to be for everyone, but really it's a hammer that they use to beat dudes into the dust.
Yeah, it's basically a burning at the stake.
Yeah.
It's a slow burn.
Gender equality. My ass.
Sure.
So how long you been watching the show, man?
I've been watching a few years. Actually, I got red pilled during college. I started with Sandman, Spetsnaz, then you.
All right. You ever share my stuff around your buddies? What do they think of it?
That I do. I definitely make sure of that.
You ever lost anybody sharing that stuff around?
Most of my family.
Oh, shit!
Yeah, same here, bro. They just don't seem to understand that, there's a whole world out there that people are just totally oblivious to.
Yeah. If you want a cure for a slingback effect, all you got to do is just share this, be like, oh, man, you got to see this YouTube channel I've been watching. Just send it to these chicks. Oh, God.
Hell with them. What are you going to do?
Yep. I do have one bit of advice for any guy who wants to break into the tech industry that doesn't want to go into that shithole that is college.
Yeah.
Because my background is IT in the tech industry, is go with certifications. Build your, if you're going into the software development side, I would say build your GitHub portfolio, but also with your resume, once you do learn your tech stacks, is in little fine print. Put at the bottom of the page a bunch of keywords, like specific technologies, systems, etc., because their scanning software picks up keywords, but make sure no one can read it. But that will put you, because it goes off of a priority based on that.
I do the same trick for federal jobs, except you bring it down to the lowest font you can get, put it on there, and then change the color to white so it shows up. It doesn't really show up visually, and their scanning programs pick that up.
Yep.
I'm an evil genius. What can I say? Hey, man, thanks for calling in, man. And do you know how to do apps?
Yes.
All right. Send me an email. I might need some of your services. I want to put together some raunchy male humor barroom apps.
Raunchy male
All
humor
right, will
for
do.
this show?
Well, like, for instance, I've got Gaydar using math. Homo suspicion points. That's a whole thing right there.
I can usually tell by the way they sit.
Yeah.
They could probably conjure up something.
All right, man. All right. Well, we'll talk to you later.
Sounds great. Thanks for calling in, man.
All right,
Thanks, man.
You take it easy.
What do we got here?
All right. We have, Boris is back. Hopefully his phone works better this time. Boris, you're back, sir.
Yes.
Hello,
Yes.
Pop.
Sounds
Hello,
much
Blake.
better now. Yes.
Hello, the audience. How's the audience?
It's doing good, man. We have a storm coming in, though.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about the prior fuck up. Basically, what happened was I hooked up the external microphone, which generally works well, but not this time, and I had failed to test it prior to connecting.
All right. So what you're saying is Murphy showed up and put it in your ass. All right. That's all I got to say.
Well, that's correct. However, it was my duty to anticipate, his arrival.
Yeah.
Anyways, I could tell you a couple of crazy stories, though they're not that crazy. And basically, what I wanted to introduce. Oh, before that, I wanted to express my admiration to you guys for what you're doing. I've actually been listening for a few years. and it is really remarkable what you have achieved. And I think, well, I just wanted to mention that because that is truly important. It is truly, life-changing for many people, and that is something that I think needs to be emulated and taken further afield. And I'm really not like, I don't have this comedic streak, so I don't think I could personally do it. But whoever has this capability, I mean, just someone that I think can really work wonders. What I wanted to offer was this kind of general perspective on the subject, and it is sort of like this. First off, anyone who claims that women can't lie or don't lie is truly and deeply misogynistic. There's basically somebody who thinks that women lack this mental capacity.
Yeah.
Which I think is, first off, it's bullshit. Second of all, it's insulting.
It is. And listen, women come out pre-programmed out of the box, knowing how to lie, cheat, steal, and deceive. I mean, come on.
They do.
I mean, men know it too, but women, I've noticed, throughout my half a century stuck on this planet, they can do it with a straight face.
Mm-hmm. And it doesn't seem to.
And it doesn't seem to bother them.
It doesn't seem to faze them, no matter who it hurts.
Yeah.
I can't get behind that. Well, I can, but I'll give it a fake name.
Yeah. You still there?
Yeah. No, I'm here. I'm just processing. You're absolutely right. And additionally, here's another way to think about it. As you know, in the military, deception is a weapon of war, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So one uses weapons available to them. If, say, you're a female and therefore statistically not as capable physically, well, then you, instead of a direct assault, some kind of a physical assault, you are more likely to use this, deception as your weapon because it is as available to you as it is to a male. But since you're maybe a little short on other options, that's what you use. And I absolutely. And here's another thing. One thing you guys do is use math, and here's how we can use math to illustrate this to anybody who may be a doubter. And by a doubter, I mean someone who would say, yes, they do lie, but that's rare, and you shouldn't exaggerate that, and blah, blah, blah. And how you evaluate that risk is obviously your choice, but here's something to consider. Picture a square, like just a city square. You have to walk across it. It's like a cobblestone square, and you know that, let's say, every one cobblestone out of 100 has an explosive charge in it. It's basically a landmine.
Yep.
Right? You have to cross the square. Now, it's very possible that you would walk across the square, never hit a mine, and you'll be just fine. But you just have no way of knowing.
Yep.
And that's more or less the riddle that you have here. Mm-hmm. And the problem is that you can argue whether it is, 1% of the females, or 3%, or 5%, or 10%, or whatever, that are capable of this kind of behavior. But the problem is, like I said, with just this riddle, you're actually facing a very significant, statistically speaking, a very significant risk.
All right.
And that, I think, is the best way to think about it. And basically, people who think that it's something that, well, it may happen to a couple of people here and there, and why should I worry about it? That's actually ain't the case, because in a situation where this kind of behavior is not being discouraged, and the risk to you is all that real, it's just like with a landmine. By the way, we can extend this model, right? In this landmine, we can picture some kind of a bullshit, anti-personnel landmine that typically doesn't kill, it just rips off a couple of your toes, right? And you say, well, you're gonna live, blah blah blah. Of course, you're gonna be fucked up for life, but you're gonna live. And it is just as callous to think about it this way. And by the way, nobody's going to talk this way about real landmines, right?
No.
But here they go dismissive on you, and that's absolutely not what do you call it? I mean, that is basically a complete double standard, and that's absolutely not supported by the actual facts on the ground.
That's yeah, and that's very common. And one of the reason in today's day and age that women have as much power as they do is because we as men, we instinctively white knight for them, and we try to believe everything they say, and they're literally taking advantage of the system and us at the same time.
And it's hilarious how they know they can bank on a man's innate overprotective feelings to kick in as soon as they make a false rapé allegation, and yet out of the other side of their mouth they claim that no one believes them because of rapé culture.
Yeah.
They know they're full of shit. That this isn't some sort of thing that they've been brainwashed into accepting, a lie that's just been repeated so often that it's become true. They know.
Yep.
And that's what makes it evil.
I got you. All right, we got to move on to the next one.
Yeah, thank you very much, Boris, and thank you so much for sending in all the news tips.
Yeah, keep sending us the news tips, Boris.
Yeah, he's a good writer, this guy.
Yeah.
So, wait a second. Before you go, Boris, can you do me one favor?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Can you please tell Pop that if he doesn't lay off the pizza, he's going to die? Because you have the accent.
Wow. You need to lay off the pizza, or else you will inevitably die.
Thank you, Boris. Worth it.
Take it easy, man.
Take it easy, man.
The Spetsnaz doctor. I miss that guy. He retired about a year and a half ago.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's a bummer. I like that guy.
Oh, yeah. He sounded like a really funny dude. Very based. So we're going to got Matt W. up next on the call list. Matt, how you doing, good sir?
I'm doing well. I'm feeling actually pretty shitty. How about you guys?
Oh, that doesn't sound.
What's going on, man? You all right?
I second time catching COVID-19.
Oh, nasty.
I've had it 3 times, bro. You'll be all right.
Flu.
Yeah. So the first time I got it, must have gotten the Delta strain. I'm not poked in smoke. I'm not doing that.
Oh, hell no.
No, that's a big no-no. But the second time I went in there, the doctor did prescribe me that Paxlovid stuff. How do you guys feel about that stuff? Is that like an okay thing to take? I mean, how do you feel about it? I took the first dose.
Well, the thing with the Paxlovid is they have, from what I understand, it's a cocktail of 2 or 3 different drugs. All right, and one of them does virtually the same thing that ivermectin is rumored to do.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, and then they have another one which is suppresses the viral load, but it does it similar to an HIV drug. I don't know what it's called, but those HIV drugs are really hard on your kidneys.
Most drugs are hard on your kidneys.
Yeah, that's what I was told.
Yes, and for me, I did all that time in the military, and they would just basically take some Motrin, drink some water, and drive on. So now that I'm 50, my kidneys are weakened, so I literally can't mess around with that stuff. So I'm not a doctor. I'm not telling you what to do or what not to do. Just do your research and make an educated decision based off that.
Yeah. My concern is that metallic taste and what have you. I'm just, it's from the same company that's making the poke and smoke, and I hope there's nothing in there that would give me the same. That would, give me myocarditis here in a couple of weeks. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Listen, we have every. Your feelings are valid.
Yeah.
All right, because there's all kinds of crazy stuff going on that is being covered up and ignored. Since we're on YouTube, we can't go into a lot of depth in this.
Yeah. I don't know.
But yeah, and that's another thing I was going to say. It's a trust issue. Like as far as I'm concerned, Big Pharma has flushed their reputation down the toilet.
Any credibility they had
gone.
Yeah. So, anyways, going back to it. So I've been watching you since 2019.
Okay.
I'm a young man. I'm 28, and watching I was like 25, 24, I think. Right? Yeah. Learned the ways from you. You and Sandman definitely have shaped my life in a positive way.
Sandman.
All right.
Yeah. And So I got a good story about actually what caused me to get the red pill suppository.
Oh boy.
Here we go.
Let's hear it. I got to hear this one.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. All right. So back in, 2017, I could say 2017 through 2019. I was in college, right? I was in my local college. I go downstairs and I should not have went downstairs, right? But I just left my math class, went downstairs, and I see this young brunette with blue eyes sitting there. I'm like, oh, that's how it starts. Trust me. I have a thing for those. And when I saw that, I couldn't resist. So I went over to her, spoke to her. I got her name, what have you. And kicked it off from there. We started, started going out. All right. Everything was good. Nothing was really rocky. So what caused the whole, I guess, dynamic shift was she had a guy friend. And I knew about it, but me being the blue-pilled cuck, I allowed it to happen. Yep, that's where it starts. This is where I knew I should not have.
Here we go.
Yep,
As soon as I heard it, I'm like,
this is where it begins. So, all right. And then I worked at a local grocery store during that time just to scrape up some money so I could pay for my college tuition, pay for the gas to go back and forth to there.
Mm-hmm.
So there's I live in a small town, so there's a local bar in the shopping area where the grocery store was. So that night, I used to work the overnight shift. It paid better, and nobody was in the store. So it just made it a lot better to stock shelves at night. So I called her that night. I was like, hey, I'm going to get ready to go to work. And she said she's going to go to bed. I was like, okay, I'll see you in the morning. Okay. So skips on, 3 a.m. comes around, and the bartender, because the shopping center and the bar are in the same shopping center, bartender comes in and says, hey, it was like, what's going on? He was like, no, Matt. I was like, yeah, what's going on? He's like, because he knows I go there to get a drink every day after work when I was able to drink.
Uh-huh.
He comes up to me, he's like, hey, man, I saw your girlfriend. I was like, really? Because he knows her because we would go there together, because it's a restaurant and bar. So we used to have our dates there. So he knew us. He was like, yeah, she was with a dude. I was like, what do you mean? I was like, they described him to me. So the way he described him, I was like, oh, that's probably just her friend. Like that's her friend. And that's who I knew. Mm-hmm. The way he described it. I was like, okay, yeah, not really big problem. So next morning comes. I knew he was like, he was like, dude, he's like, I got to tell you what happened. He was like, this guy got a little bit drunk and he said to me that I know that she has a boyfriend, but I'm going to go back to my house with her and I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. I mean, he told me things that like, I've never even like tried, you know what I mean? Like we're talking about some like fucking gymnastics type stuff. The way he described me, I almost threw up. I almost had to go throw up.
Uh-huh.
So anyway, so then the next morning I was just upset. The next morning I called her and I called her out and I was like, hey, were you with, what's his name last night? He's like, how'd you know? It's like, she gets defensive. I was like, listen, did you go back to his house and did all these things with him? Before she had a chance to answer that, she hangs up the phone and takes me off everything, off of the social media and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she threw away a 2-year relationship. I was going to get ready to ask her to marry me right after college. I know, right? That's another thing, too. I'm never doing that ever again.
Yeah, good.
I took that engagement ring and brought it back, and I bought myself an AR with it.
Yeah.
Okay. So she attempted to sling back at me when the pandemic.
Man.
Yep. When the pandemic first hit in 2020, she texted me. She was like, "Hey, Matt, I didn't respond to it. I knew better. This is when I was watching your content. This is when your content started coming in. I didn't respond." Second time, she said, "Hey, Matt, I need to tell you something really important." I was like, "Nope." I ignored it, blocked it. And she called me about 3 or 4 times over the past like 2 years. So now we go to 2022. And I come to find out she has like 2 different baby daddies and shit. She's messing around with some basketball American who drives a Dodge Charger. All the good stuff.
All right. Well, you make your bed, you lie in it. What are you going to do?
Exactly. So you know what? You go enjoy that, and I'll go enjoy my life.
Hey, look, I am glad that my wisdom was of service to you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Terrence Poppy, I do thank you for your story of how you said you were going to blow your brains. I'm happy you didn't. I'm happy you're on this earth to teach the youngins the way, because there is no manual. No one says a word about this.
No, they don't.
No, and no one mentions it.
No.
And
This is
I'm happy that my family is supportive of it, because they know what these girls are nowadays, especially where I am. Every girl like, the reason why I stopped going out with like the females after this one, I asked them, hey, do you have an OnlyFans? And they're proud of it. And they're proud of having an OnlyFans. I'm like, no, we're done.
Right. Bye-bye.
And,
That's right.
yeah. I would actually leave. I'd be like, hey, I'm going to go to the bathroom. Well, I knew where it was. I'd pay for my side of food at least. And I'd get in my car and drive off. Granted, I picked her up. So go find your own way home. Use that OnlyFans money and go get a damn Uber.
Well, normally, like, I've had probably half a dozen, just shitty ass dates in the past like 12 years.
Yeah.
And on 6 different occasions, like literally sitting across the table, and then she goes off, she gets out of pocket. Literally, I take out my money, put on the table. I'm like, you have a good night. And I just get up and leave.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't sleep off. I'm just like, hey, like one like was literally bragging about ass raping her now ex-husband in court.
Wow.
And literally I stand up and I'm like, you're out of your goddamn mind. If you think you're going to get another dude, to fall into that, tiger trap of a poon you have with your history, you can just suck a dick and it won't be mine. I'm out.
Oh yeah. No, I'm done. I'm done with the whole dating stuff. So I focused on myself. I work as a full-time auto mechanic. I'm actually a second-tier master mechanic. I'm on my way to, I'm on my way to finishing my last ASCs, which is what you need for certification. As soon as that, I'll be a master tech, and then also with my dealership, I'm going to become a master over there too. So I've been on my grind these past few years.
That's the way you do it, man.
That's exactly how you do it.
All right, we're going to move on to the next one.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Terrence Pop. Thank you, Blake, for being on here. I appreciate it. Just know that your words are listened to me every day. I listen to them all the time, every day, even at work.
Yeah,
my coworkers ask me, "What are you laughing at?" Because you're making those jokes.
Yeah, well, you're in the Redonkulas regiment, motherfucker.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Take it easy, dude. All right, it looks like we got about 6 calls left, so no new calls, but we will take these last 6. I don't want to
burn
leave
through all
anybody
the super
hanging
chat
here.
time.
They've already been waiting, so
all right.
We'll get through all the super chats after that.
All right.
If you need to take a urine break, you let me know. It's all good. We got that weirdo kid. Is this Jackal? Oh, we got Jackal on the line. What's going on, man?
Not much, you motherfucking fucking fucks. How we doing tonight?
You need no introduction, good sir.
Yeah!
I think I kind of do, because I'm the young, dumb one, but I guess. So how you guys doing?
So we're going to get a live bullshit report this week.
Well, listen, you're not dumb, you're just inexperienced. They're 2 different things.
Yes.
All right, that's correct. All right, so you got a variety here. I can give you a rundown update of that one story that I sent it so far long ago that you guys probably don't remember, but it was the one where it was the kid in school that was getting bullied by a tomboyish redhead and dragged him off into the girls' bathroom and gave him a brown shower.
Ooh.
Yeah, I remember that one. The memory of it was the memory kind of got shoved to the background behind all the tactical fart nuke stories that have come in since then.
Until I brought it back to life.
Yeah, I know. Thank you for that. I'm gonna drink some more.
You're welcome, motherfucker. Anyways, or you can pick the story of my dad when he was back in the Navy and he got a little too close to Pop. I know you're gonna give him the knife hand for this. He messed with a stripper chick.
Oh, okay. We got to hear that.
Yeah,
one.
we got to hear that one.
That one, definitely.
All right. So this was back in the late 70s, early 80s, back when my dad was in. He only did 4 years.
Okay.
Now, I can't remember the name of the base to save my life, but all I remember is that he's in port. He goes to it was a well-known bar amongst the sailors around that area because it's right off base.
Uh-huh.
So he goes to this bar, and of course, my dad's young dick thing do, just like the rest that are in the military at that point.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he's I wouldn't say he's like 2 sheets to the wind, but I'll say he's like 1.8 sheets to the wind.
Mm-hmm. He's halfway
He's
there.
just
a
he's
bad
halfway
chair
there.
away.
He's,
Yeah.
he's just peeking around to the next page. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
But he starts talking to this one girl. He didn't tell me this recently, so I can't remember all the details. But I do remember the fact that he went back to her place, and for some reason, she was thinking, oh, I have to check to make sure, because she's a stripper, so she's going to check for her cash that she had to pull out from her G-string. Anyways, so she checks her purse for her wad of cash that she makes by the end of the night.
Uh-huh.
This is after some shagnanigans may or may not have happened.
Uh-huh.
So he's taking a shower. He comes out. She confronts him. Did you take my money?
Whoa.
He says, no. What money?
Uh-huh.
I didn't even get near your purse.
Ooh.
She skips straight to pulling out the 45 and pointing it straight at him.
Dude, that escalated quickly.
And he just puts the hands up because, of course, trying to rush somebody, woman or not, 45 is
that's a no.
cock locked and ready to rock.
Yeah, you're gonna
pointed
get,
straight at him.
Rongo bungo.
Yeah. He backs out and runs out. Jumps in his car and just buzzes off. Man is gone.
Gotcha.
He leaves dust. Now I can't remember if this was in his Trans Am or not, but I do know that it was in one of his street rods, I think.
Uh-huh.
I think. But so what happens later, I think it hasn't even been 12 hours yet. It may have been just a few. He goes to his buddy's house, knocks on the door. Buddy opens the door and he's like, dude, your face is like white as a ghost. What the hell happened? He says, I was looking down a lead launcher. Dude, she was about to shoot me because she thought I took some cash. He didn't. What happens later, I think he said about 45 to 50 minutes later, he gets a call from this girl, and she's giving him the, oh, I found it. Sorry. Could you come back?
Yeah.
No.
He said, oh, hell
No.
No. No. So he never goes back to mess with that girl ever again. And I'm sure he probably doesn't even want to go back to that bar because if she's one of the dancers, then she's probably going to be there on a consistent basis.
So you never.
Well, at least for 18 months. Normally,
At
those
least for
women that do that they're not at that shake a club more than 18 months. They move them in. They move around.
They rotate them.
Meth and dicks catches up to them at some point.
Oof.
Yeah, they got to say, all right, you've been in the dick trenches for about 18 months, so I think it's time for you to get rotated out. Bring in the
Got to write that
fresh
down.
The dick trenches.
Been at the dick front in the dick trenches.
That's beautiful.
So, because the dicks have been digging in her trenches.
All right.
Disgusting.
All right, man.
So-
we gotta move on here.
Yep. All right.
Thanks
And
very
I
much
got
for
the
calling in,
bullshit
man.
report down to 3 minutes. This
All right,
time.
good.
All right.
If I could swear.
Cool. I have a feeling
All
this
right.
is going to be like a 3-hour show at this point. So,
All right.
I'll talk
Good
to you,
night,
man.
motherfuckers.
Take it easy.
Out.
Who's the next
All
guy?
right. We had a couple people call in after I told you not to call in. So if we get to you, we get to you. If we don't, you didn't listen.
We apologize.
JoJo33 next up on the line. JoJo, what's going on?
Hey, how you two doing?
Doing good, bro.
Surviving.
All right, so I got a story that'll blow your mind. The most entitlement you've ever heard in your life.
Oh, I don't know.
hang
I can
on,
imagine
all
quite
right.
a bit.
Hey. All right, man. That's a big promise.
Yes,
It better
let's
be a
do
big
this.
deliver.
Well, if I don't, I have a deal for you.
Uh-huh.
You send me out with a total cox, and if I'm right, you send me out with a thug life. Deal?
All right.
got it.
All right.
All right. So first up, I'm 33. I was raised on the spectrum, but I'm pretty much on my own for the most part. I have a job. I drive a car. I dated a girl who I'm not going to name, but I thought she was a tomboy. This was almost 15 years ago. And I thought she was cute. We got along. I thought she was just kind of passive. And long story short, we broke up, tried to get back together, and we both went to a transition school. Now, at this particular transition school, we were still dating. We had gotten back together at that point, and we decided to go and attempt to bump some uglies up to second base, but nothing past that.
All right.
All right. So, well, me being the dumb 20-year-old who was obviously dick thinking, I use my big head now, thank God. Well, they catch us, and I thought everything's fine. And about a week later, they call me in, and I get sent into court for attempted rape, which didn't even happen because I'm actually a virgin. I've been saving myself for marriage.
Okay.
I came from a very religious family.
Damn.
All right.
Well, here's where the entitlement comes. Her family doesn't show up. They send me to a supposed treatment center where they call me every name in the book, from rapist to monster. And I'm literally, at that point, we are up. The only thing that really happened is I took her shirt down and started suckling those nice small mounds. But she was flat as a board. She was as flat as a board, but still, I like small breasts.
It's all right. Teach his own. Teach his own. I got
absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, I have a rule. If you can't kiss her, what's the point? But that's just me. But yeah, they send me up to a specialist, and I do 2 years. That ran me 2 years of my life.
Whoa.
And I find out from the court. Well, I didn't go to prison or anything like that. It was a place they send people. But I was sitting with people that were pedophiles. One guy had tried to sleep with his daughter.
Oh God.
And there I am trying to figure out what the fuck did I do?
And
it turns out the parents never told me that she was on the spectrum too. So if you want to hear about entitlement, try dating a chick that parents aren't. They don't tell you she's special needs too, and they threw the book at me.
Lovely.
Well, that's really common that they do that to the dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I learned my lesson pretty fucking quick. I went through the red pill rage. And to any guy listening, it's going to happen to you, whether you like it or not. You just got to knuckle down, power through it, and make sure you're there for your bros. I have guys that are with me now that listen to your show, and they got me into firearms. They got me into archery.
Good.
I did 33 years of karate, damn near. I even made the dumb mistake of getting her into it, trying to repair things. And so she stabs me in the back, and I can never go back.
Find a different karate school.
Yeah, find a different one.
Yeah.
No, I dropped out because, let's be honest, just like you say, just like the military, it's daddy daycare now. There's no discipline.
Yeah, and you know what? You're absolutely correct. That's why I don't mess around at those, I call them karate farms, where you have all the people in there, doing the little katas and bullshit. Find yourself a kickboxing, boxing gym, and you can go in there, work out, hit the bag, do what you got to do, and then get in the ring, spar some guys, and you don't have to deal with any of that stupidity. Those places still exist. They're very rare.
Yeah.
I mean, I hang out at one at 13 and Hoover in Warren, Michigan. It's a Gold's Gym. They got a boxing ring in there and everything. I'm in there like 3 or 4 times a week now.
Hell yeah.
Well, I would just like to say that you two are phenomenal. I can't thank you enough. The first video I think I came across after the whole Red Pill Rage stuff started was probably how to tell your family that you're never getting married.
It was my pleasure making
that
video.
was a gem. I loved it. But like I said, this little quick story, and I'll get out of your hair here. I know you've got other people.
All right.
My sensei specialized in the 90s with kids on the spectrum. And he beat into me that it doesn't matter who you are or where you come from. I'm not here to give you excuses. You will get on your butt, and you will learn to fight, and you will learn technique, and you will learn discipline and integrity. 2 words you'll never hear anymore.
Yep.
Discipline and integrity.
Yep.
Yeah.
I made it to 2nd degree black belt, and that's when I dropped out, and I have a 1st degree black belt in Kung Fu.
All right.
I taught and I'm 33 and can still do the splits.
Yeah, and
Hell yeah, man.
I'm just going to give you a piece of advice.
Yes, sir.
Get back to that and stick with it, because I didn't know this because I did my martial arts completely different than you. When I started martial arts, I was full of anger and hatred, and literally I learned martial arts so I could systematically destroy people. I never learned the spiritual side. Okay, and I'm now trying to pick that up, And for many years, I was out of balance because of that. So, stick with it, and it'll pay dividends down the road. Trust me.
Yeah, that'll do it.
I appreciate that, and God bless both of you.
All right, you take it easy,
You
bro.
as well, sir. You take care. All right.
What do we got now?
Good calls tonight.
Yeah. Whew.
Ohio Trucker 1.
All right.
Always a pleasure. Good to see you, sir. What's going on?
Oh, not much. Chilling in a flatbed with an M65. What's going on with you guys?
Yeah.
Well, Pop is feeling a little under the weather, so we're just kicking back here, trying to have a chill night after a really bleak Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just loading up the pickup truck so I go home.
All right. So you got a good story about somebody lying their ass off to you?
Yeah, this is how I lost my 1970 CUDA.
Oh no. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What happened there?
I knew a street racing group around Toledo. They had a girl following her. She had, I believe, a pink Nissan at the time. And long story short, 426, 4-cylinder Nissan. You see how this goes.
Uh-huh.
She was pissed off that I took her and her boyfriend's money. Basically, she called the cops and got me my car impounded for street racing. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Not doing that shit again for a while.
Lovely.
Did you get it? Did you get some payback?
Oh, yeah. Broke into the impound lot and I got my car back.
Yeah!
The best part is straight pipe glass packs. That sumbitch was loud from startup to when I hit Ohio.
Nice. Yeah, listen.
Too bad I blew it up last month.
Well, did you crash it or just blow the motor?
No, drag racing. Motor and transmission completely blew up from under me.
Yeah, that happens. But you could fix that shit.
Oh, yeah. Still got the body. Chassis good.
All right.
All right.
All right, man. We gotta move on. Thank you for the story.
All right. Yeah. Later too.
Take it easy, bro.
It's amazing what all it takes is just the wrong woman to walk into your life. Next thing you know,
You're fucking done.
just done.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Wow. All right, Fan I Am, the man with the plan and all of the Instagram clips.
All right.
Welcome to the show, good sir.
G'day, gents. How you going?
Pretty good, man.
Did you want to appear on camera or you just want your voice?
I don't care if it's on camera.
All right, here he is. Here's the Fan I Am. Just an ER story. So you got an emergency room story?
Yeah, so just because of inspired from your latest video, my best mate, we had a barbecue dinner one night. His wife, Rachel and Josh, she was an ER nurse here in Canberra, and she was telling us some stories about some of the crazy stuff that comes in. She started off with saying this guy comes in with a shampoo bottle stuck on his manhood. Slipped and fell in the shower.
Okay.
We get that a lot. Sure you did.
Sure, yeah.
And then she proceeds to tell us about a local prostitute who's a diabetic who comes in frequently to get her insulin medication and things like that.
Uh-huh.
And she would sometimes get her clients to stop off at McDonald's on the way to bring some food and dinner. And I said, McDonald's when you got diabetes? That is so bad. That is really... And Josh, my best mate, goes, really? That's the worst thing? Not the immorality of prostitution? Oh, no. Yeah, of course. Then I said, well, it does bring a new concept to ordering a Happy Meal.
It does indeed.
Which I thought was gold, but he one-ups me and goes, would you like a quarter pounder or do you just want a pounder? Sorry, honey. Josh, how could you?
Little extra cheese in her clam burger.
Oh, my goodness. I lost it. It was gold. But, and that's pretty much the story.
That's good shit there, man.
A chick who gets injections for a living goes in for insulin injections. Who knew?
Oh, and that same guy, Josh, I've laughed the second hardest about his second story, which is unrelated, but he was talking to me about his cousin talking to his father about the Myers-Briggs personality spectrum, if you're familiar with that.
Mm-hmm.
ESTJ, extrovert, judging, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And he was talking to his father about his new wife, his stepmother, and how they don't really get along because they clash. And he goes, well, because she is I'm a P, I'm a predict, and she's a J. So we don't really get well because she can't handle my penis. And he's like, excuse me? No, I mean, like, yeah, it was too late. She's a J and I'm a P. And I just lost it. I still laugh about it when I think about that story.
She just can't handle my penis. That's not what I meant.
That's exactly what happened. His father had no clue. He's like, what?
That's good stuff.
That's
man.
good shit there, man.
Woo! Oh boy.
Oh man,
That's
thank you very much for the story and for sending in all the Instagram.
Yeah,
reels.
man, those things are awesome.
Especially on Tuesday when we had it was such a bleak stream. Like you really helped us to bring the laughter in the last half, and it's always appreciated.
Thanks, man.
That's the reason. You're welcome. Thanks, guys.
Take it easy, man.
Take it easy, brother. Wow.
You see, that's the kind of humor that keeps you from going insane.
Absolutely, yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I've been sitting around with soldiers, shit's going south, and somebody's just like, yeah, well, it looks like this is escalating quickly. Or I get like a bullshit op order from my lieutenant, and I'm like, hey, sir, can you hurry it up? Because you're going to make me late reporting to my death. Come on.
Oh, man. I don't know why my brain flashed back to this, but I think my favorite ever Fan I Am clip, and it's because I shared it with everyone I knew because it made me laugh to tears, was the kid in his room playing with the elastic workout band.
Oh, yeah.
And it smacked him in the balls, and he goes, and then just rips this long fart. That was the fucking best shit ever.
Comedy gold, baby.
I even showed that to my kid. He thought that was the funniest thing he'd ever seen in his life. He's like, why does the caption say, imagine being his parents out in the hall? I'm like, I'll tell you when you're 13.
Yeah. You always know it's going to be a good answer when you hear it. I'll tell you when you're older.
I'll tell you when you're older, yeah. You don't want to know right now. All right, we got Robert next up on here. If he's still listening, his microphone is muted. Yep, there he is. Robert, welcome to the show, good sir.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
Anytime,
It's all good,
brother.
bro. What's up?
So, first, Aaron, I wanted to say thanks for hooking me up in that underground sector for fighting the poke and smoke.
Okay, no problem.
So, I reached out to you on Freshman Fit way back when. I'm one of those damn O's that you always talk about.
All right. It's nothing personal, bro. It's nothing personal.
I don't take it. I spent my first 10 years as a mechanic, so.
All right.
But, so, as a reservist, I'm AGR right now, but I'm going to refrat and go back to what I was doing as a cop.
Okay.
And as a cop, I have taken probably no less than 20 rape reports.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Don't be too shocked by that. Only 2 of them were legit, and they were generally minors. So
okay,
the rest of them were always crack whores that didn't get their drug of choice.
Ah.
So first off, never mess with those kind of women. But anyways, if you and even when it comes to like domestic violence and all those other things that come with it, don't ever put yourself in a situation where that can happen or where they can accuse you of it.
That's right.
A lot of states have the shall arrest if there's a mark. And I always tell every guy I come across, especially as being a cop, if I could see that the guy was the one being victimized, I'd be like, hey, pull out your camera, pull out your phone, start recording as soon as she starts throwing a fit. And because you know how it is in the court. Women's word is worth gold, and man, you're guilty until proven innocent.
Yeah.
So, in regards to that, yeah, I always tell people, guard yourself, watch yourself, because all it just takes is their accusation.
It's absolutely correct. It's 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
You can't trust anybody.
And listen, we've got in the past 10 years we've been doing this at least half a dozen stories about guys who get accused of shit and they just kill themselves.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I've been to so many suicides where that I think could have been a contributing factor.
Yep.
But
I bet.
Did you watch the video I made in response to Matt Walsh?
Yeah, the one where he says men need to step up or some bullshit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that bastard.
Like he's so based, but about this one thing, he couldn't be more off.
Yeah, listen, like in my career, 33 years, I've attended or had to, basically run over 100 funerals. And about a third of those funerals were very questionable. And a portion of them was straight up suicides. But like a 30-year-old guy just got promoted to E6, drives his crotch rocket at 156 miles an hour into a concrete pylon 2 weeks after he served his divorce papers.
I saw, I think it was 3 of my guys when we were in Afghanistan served divorce papers while we were overseas.
Damn.
Yep.
And just kind of on that side note about Matt Walsh, I grew up very religious. I was born and raised into the Mormon religion, and I followed that. The plan. We're indoctrinated from that young age, to go serve a mission, get married, make a family. I'm 36. I've beat the Mormon odds of being 25 and married. And thank God, because from everything I've seen as being a cop, from being a soldier, from seeing the divorces served, guys' lives getting ruined, bank accounts cleaned out, everything taken from them. And it's gotten to the point where my mom is like, she'll still try to set me up with people. And it's like, I'll bet you she's not interested. And I'll prove it to her. Like, she tried to set me up with this one girl. Not the type I usually go for, kind of chubby, but my mom's morbidly obese, so she thinks everybody's skinny. I've told her this. I've told her she needs to work on it.
I think that's funny. And you said it's so deadpan.
I like it.
Yeah. But anyways, I'm talking to this girl. She seems like she's given a lot of indicators that she's like religious and actually follows the religion.
Okay.
And I was like, hey, so you seen anybody? She goes, no. I was like, would you like to? I'm not in the right place. And 24 hours before, she's telling my mom, yeah, I want to find the right guy and settle down. And I was like, I told you I'm not the one she wanted. Yeah. So even the overweight ones, even like, I'd say she was like a 4, maybe a 5, probably a 5. Even they don't want anything to do with like what they perceive as a regular guy.
Yep. You are correct.
Yeah.
So I'm actually putting together a rifle right now, but my hobbies are cars and guns. I own a home, and I'm just going to continue on being a bachelor and killing it that way.
Fuck yeah.
What you do, man.
All right, man.
Yeah.
We got to get to the next guy.
All right. I appreciate it, though.
No
Have a good
problem.
night, guys.
Thanks for
Thank
calling
you, sir.
in, man.
Take it easy.
Yep.
All right. Last 2 calls of the stream here, and then we're going to take a quick break to empty our squirrel bladders. We're going to jump to new tech and read all the chats that everybody has sent in. We got some emails, too, with some good stories from what I've seen.
All right.
And next up is Jeremy.
Ooh.
Jeremy 495. Hi. Oh my God! Nobody should ever have to look at you from that angle, good sir.
Oh no, it's sitting on the. You can hear me all right, right?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Just fine.
Okay, cool.
Did you want to appear on the stream or just your voice?
Oh, it don't matter. Let's just go ahead and show it.
All right, you got it.
No, I saw that the thought was the biggest lie that you've been told. And I really had to think about that one pretty hard. Actually, I really didn't. The biggest lie is the lie that was told by the boomers, and that is you're going to end up going out, you're going to be a good man, you're going to end up, finding a girl, and you're going to get married, you're going to have kids, you're going to have a house, you're going to have a white picket fence, and all the rest of that noise.
And the happily ever after.
Where's the happily ever after?
Very few people find it now.
Yeah, it doesn't exist.
I'll flip the camera around so you guys can see. That's the happily ever after.
Oh, there you go.
Right. It's one of those, you ever get upset or anything else, you come out and you start working on stuff. And if you don't want to work on that project, you work on that project or that project.
I like it.
Right. I got to kind of focus a little bit here. I was going to get at a couple of things. No, that is ultimately the biggest lie but it really comes down to if men can focus on the things that they like, and whatever else, it doesn't necessarily, you're going to find that over a period of time that you do not need a vampire in your life, whether that be time. My ex-business partner was, I actually signed off on an air conditioning company and ended up walking away. I made a bit of a large mistake, and my business partner was a woman.
Oh,
and yes, I know. And if you guys want to look it up, I don't care if anybody ends up hearing about it. It is Sub-Zero Mechanical.
Okay.
Here in Arizona. But that was one. I owned it for 2 years, and leading with emotion, and I was trying to lead with logic, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to sign off for my sanity's sake. But anyhow, the other thing that I was going to end up getting at is also when you get a little bit older, and I'm now seeing, especially in air conditioning in Arizona, I'm seeing the new generation, and it's one of those you try to maybe steer them ever so slightly, because you can't grab a hold of the steering wheel and steer these kids. You have to kind of give them, well, are you sure that was the best option when you were thinking about doing that? And an example of that is being out in the yard and everybody's doing van inspection, and we had ended up with a new dispatcher in the office, and she kind of had it was more than apparent that she had the hots for one of the dudes on the crew, and that's the fastest way to end up ending a career in anything.
Yes.
So it was one where I caught it out of the corner of my eye, and everybody's out there, including the person who I hold very dear to me, who is the HR department. And I just catch that out of the corner of my eye, and she's over there kind of like giggling and talking with him, and I just bark, "Oi, shipmate, get your ass over here." I'm sorry. I'm like, "Get over here." He's like, "What?" And he points at himself sarcastically. I'm like, "No, the person behind you." Grab a hold of him, start pulling him towards HR. I look at that girl and I go, "Leave." And I pulled him real close, right next to where HR could hear it. And I go, "You never, never, never shit where you sleep."
Yeah.
There has been so many people. I have gotten down to the point where I will not shake somebody's hand until they have made it a year, because there are so many times where you have somebody who makes it for a week, a month, or whatever else. Great person, but you kind of give up a portion of your soul when you're training people in this industry.
Yeah.
And that is air conditioning. And it takes a little bit with you when somebody's like, "You know what, this ain't for me. Thanks for everything that you end up doing," or they go off someplace else and they end up making more money.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, that's the way the world works.
It is.
Past that, I think I'm running out of steam.
No, it's all good, man.
But absolutely. And it's good talking to you guys. And you guys definitely helped me through a lot of the stuff earlier on, especially in the past, I'm going to say 5 years.
All right, man. Well, I'm glad we were able to help you and spread the word and spread the channel.
Yes.
It's absolutely. I'm spreading the channel, and the word. Most of what I find myself doing right now is I do have other friends that are married, and when stuff starts coming unraveled, all I can do is be there for them.
That's all you can do.
Just send them pre-divorce mentality in the long game.
The last thing was, I'll say this very quickly. I had a truck that one of my friends absolutely ended up falling in love with. And he ended up telling his woman that I'm going to buy that truck. And I'm like, that probably wasn't a real great idea, because one way or another, she's going to end up talking you out of it or whatever else. She's going to manipulate the situation like something's evil in it or whatever else. It broke down to the middle of the night last summer, him calling me in absolute tears.
Oh, boy.
And he's like, "I was woke up out of a dead sleep. She's drunk, yelling at me about the pickup truck. I was delirious. I didn't know what was going on or whatever else. And I pushed her out of the way, and I go, oh, geez. Okay, get your keys, get your money, get out of the house, go to a hotel, and do it quickly." Yeah. And at that point in time, she had already called a priest to come over to the house to talk to him.
Oh my God.
So these are, I mean, the struggle is definitely very real when it comes to men. You got to think with the big head. That's the best I can put it. You got to think with the big head.
The little head gets
You don't think
killed.
with the big head.
There's not enough surface area down there.
Yeah.
Right. You're putting your fate in your own hands.
All right, man. We got one more to go.
You take it easy, brother.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Take it
very
easy,
much,
wild man.
Jeremy.
Thank you so
Take
much.
care.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I'm glad we're helping these people out. And all we're
Yeah,
doing
me
is just
too.
talking a bunch of mad shit.
Hey, sometimes that's all people need to hear.
Yeah.
Legend. Last call of the night from Shy This. How you doing?
Hey.
Hey.
Still there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we
I
got
can hear
you.
ya. Just turn you up here.
I'm sorry. I've been kicked off the stream every 15 minutes, so I'm going to try and be as fast as I can.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I got points that I want to say. Number one, thanks for your service, guys. And I do not mean your military experience. I mean, what you have done for men in the last few years is crucial. You need to keep doing it.
We're not going anywhere, man.
Yeah.
I want to see that counter hit 1,000.
Yeah. That would be a great day. That'd be a great day.
So you
Terrence,
got a good lie story
you
for
were
us?
one of my first rails.
Yeah.
All I've got is some points. I just want to go through them real quickly. I don't want to take up all your time because, I respect what you're up to.
All right.
I want to start with the fundamental point behind my YouTube channel. All women are a danger to all men.
Okay.
And that's the bottom line.
You're absolutely correct.
What did I say
I
on
don't have
Tuesday?
anything
It's like
to
it's
add.
not that every woman will ruin your life; it's that every woman can.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
And let's go on to the third point. Somebody mentioned rapé being 40% of rapé reports are false.
Yep, 41.
Merge that with what you know about how many rapés go unreported. How many are false?
Yeah.
If you were to report every single one of them, is it still 40%?
Might be higher.
It might be higher.
I mean, character assassination
millions?
doesn't require a police report.
Yep. Wow.
That's like men in the millions around the country have been falsely accused, if that's the case, or at least have been falsely accused to their friends by the woman who decided to accuse him.
Yep.
Even if she doesn't go to the cops, she still tries to sabotage his life. Okay, point number 4. MGTOW Mando mentioned Chernobyl versus Ohio.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to point out that was such a succinct comparison. That is exactly what is going on.
Yep.
Wow.
That shit just fell apart, and they're like trying to cover it up as fast as they can. What is it, vinyl hydrochloride or something like that?
Yep.
We decided that they decided to burn it not because it could have exploded, but because it could have gone into the water supply, and they'd rather you breathe it than drink it.
Yeah. Listen, they're
Which leads into point.
fucked up with that shit.
Yeah.
Either way, it's a shit
Yeah.
sandwich.
Yeah.
And we all got to take a bite.
And they're trying to cover it up just like damn balloons and all the UFOs and all that shit. They're just like, no, if we don't tell them anything, then they won't get suspicious.
Yeah. But it's a very useful distraction for all the shit that's going wrong
Yeah.
with this duly elected administration.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, we got to jump off here.
81 million legitimate votes.
Yeah, totally legitimate ice cream cones.
Yeah, we can't go into detail. We're on YouTube. So.
Yeah, we're going to get fucked.
That leads me to point number 5. I was in the Navy for several years, and I don't know how much you know, Terrence, about the Navy's firefighting systems, but chemical fuel fires were fought with AFFF, and AFFF just got listed as carcinogenic toxin.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a class action lawsuit going on right now if you were in the Navy and you were exposed to AFFF, you might be due some money.
Yeah, well, I myself, I was just a grunt, so I wasn't around any of that stuff.
No.
Me too.
All right, we got to get through some super chats.
That led me to point number 6.
Okay.
All right.
Do you want to skip? Okay.
Go right ahead. You could do your last point here, but we got to get going.
I just wanted. Last point. Okay. No matter how good of a liar you are, you're still shocked when a woman lies to you.
Ooh.
That's it.
I like it.
And we shouldn't be.
I know.
Funny part.
And the reason we're shocked is we think that women are all honest.
And you shouldn't be.
No, we should never be shocked.
We shouldn't be shocked. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Just like rejection, it should be our default setting.
Uh-huh.
That's a very good point. Yeah, I think you made the book. He's writing it down.
I am. I like that one.
I had 5 more points, but I don't want to take up your time.
All right.
I respect
It's almost
you guys
10
so
o'clock.
much.
Yeah, we got to
I really
get through
thank
some
you
super
for
chats.
everything you've done.
Yeah, but what you should do though, man, if you have a YouTube channel, you should make a YouTube video posting all these, doing like all these points in a row.
Yeah.
Put that out there. We'll highlight it on our community page for you.
Yeah, we'll do it.
That would be superlative. That would be awesome. Thank you, guys.
No problem, bro.
Anytime, brother. Thanks for calling in. You have a good one.
All right.
All right.
Wow.
Okay, yeah, it's at 9:52. We got through all the calls. Thank you to everybody for calling in tonight. I'm going to try to rip through the YouTube chats here, and then we'll take a break, go over to New Tech, and try to get done before 10:30.
Okay.
That's what it's all about, man. What do we got here? Chris Carter. Oh, creator of the X-Files. Yeah, no, probably not. Hey, love the show. Thank you very much. Tiger NG. Women don't lie. But, yeah. Master Miggy. If women are destroying their ability to pair bond before age 20, then it is better for an upright, godly man to not get married, sadly. Lair Brothers, keep saving lives. I'll do all I can to help.
All right.
Outstanding. And we have not a band account. Believe all women. Oh my gosh. Hashtag Harris 2024. Hashtag LGBTQWTFLOL. Oh, man. Sarcasm is quite fantastic. We got Fan I Am also sending in some clips for tonight. We'll watch those on New Tech. And I did find the video that I was talking about earlier about the dude splitting his ball sack with the elastic bands.
Yeah.
I'll save that for New Tech as well.
Oh, my God.
Shark Dentures. Hey, Boris, now say nuclear vessels. Nuclear whistles. It's just so weird. Like when Walter Koenig showed up on Babylon 5, I'm so used to him as Chekhov. It was weird to hear his real voice.
I know.
I never got used to it.
But, he did a really good job in Babylon 5.
Yes, he did. Yeah, he played a great role. When he was like being particularly douchey, I just like to think that he was playing himself at comic conventions. Ascension! If you thought the anal stories were good, wait till you see the sequel. Coming soon. Yeah, he sent those to me this afternoon. Guess what we're doing Monday?
Damn.
Stories like that, I never tell him what's in them, and I just like to get his genuine reaction. To Master 12 with a $30 super chat. Thank you so much. He says, I've been saving this parable for a while, but with a title like this, how could I resist? Check the Redonkulas 12 for a spicy service from me and the biggest red pill I've sent since Arthur Schopenhauer essay. Oh, my.
Yeah, if it's a big one, we'll have to do a video on it.
Yeah, we may have to do a video. Oh, that's fine. Sure. Bless you, sir. Bless you, sir.
Sorry, excuse me.
Where is it here? I'm
not seeing it.
I am not seeing it. Oh, here it is. Got it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. This is a big one here.
Yep.
But what I will do is I will forward this to myself, and we can do an independent video on this.
All right.
Because this is definitely looks like it's good enough for that.
Excellent.
All right. Boom. Thank you very much to Master 12. Look for your own standalone video very soon. Clever Fish. Stop. Don't touch me there. This is my no-no square. K-Note. Thumper's story made me scared for when I get my 72 Demon restored. Too many bad stories of vindictive women destroying valuable cars.
Yes.
Anything that takes your attention and resources away from them,
they will get jealous of.
There you go. Even if it's an inanimate object. Count Chad the Impaler. Both of my boys are in their 20s. Red-pilled, no marriage.
Good for them.
Demaster 12. Robert, I'm LDS-ish and red-pilled too. Want me to email you the story of how I destroyed an engaged couple's delusions with an F-bomb in church?
Of course.
Is that the story that you sent? Because if it's not, I want that one too.
Yeah.
That sounds amazing. Big Chad the Mad Lad. I can't believe I showed up late. When are you going to do a Collins show next? I got a story to tell. I don't know. I'd like to try to do one of these once a month.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Be kind of fun. Now that we got the StreamYard thing going, it seems to be a lot easier for people to call in.
It's better than 1-800-WET-TITS.
Not better than the number, but better than the actual results.
Yeah.
And Hot Dog 401. Biggest lie? They all told me it'd be forever.
Yeah.
Chicks, man.
Listen,
Chicks.
It's taken me 40-some-odd years to come to that conclusion.
Yeah.
That when they look you in the face and, I'll love you forever.
Only if.
Yeah, only if and for now.
Yep.
There's no forever, and there is no promises when it comes to women.
Jail. All right, ladies and germs, we're going to be reading the rest of the chats and watching the Fan I Am clips over on New Tech. So if you're watching on YouTube, look for the links to join us on New Tech, and you get to see better butts and uncensored, unfiltered language. We can actually say rapé the way it's meant to be said.
All right.
Not that we'd want to, but, just saying.
All right.
It's fun. Actually, no, that's not. Don't quote me on that. Jail.